But then the one person who seems like immune to that is Joe Rogan. He did the 100 million deal. Same fucking bloke, same life, same everything. Nothing changed.
Yeah.
The legit, and I know that you really admire Joe.
He's the guy who got me into it, basically, yeah.
You know how they say, like, don't meet your heroes? Meet Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Because he is the guy. And I mean that, like, has the money to do whatever the fuck he wants and does whatever the fuck he wants.
I wish I could be like more like that because of my ego. Like I like to talk shit and I like to like act a bit arrogant. He never really does that. He could flex on everyone.
I think
he doesn't really do
it's
it.
The martial arts, bro.
Yeah.
I think like you come up in that community and there's a humility to it. It's like you've experienced getting fucked up. Like he's in jiu-jitsu every single week where a guy could literally take his life away. It's hard to be that cocky, arrogant motherfucker when a guy almost took your fucking life.
Yeah. He also had 20 years of like growing before he ended up in podcasting. Yeah. Whereas I had to. I've said a lot of dumb shit in my podcast. This podcast. This is
you know. No, this is something interesting. It's like experiencing fame and then losing it is super valuable. Just like experiencing money and then losing it. You know, like you probably were killing it. Then you went through tough patch, right? The fact that you learned you can make it again is empowering, right?
Oh, yes.
You're like, I'll risk everything now. I know I could get this bread. Like that is valuable.
But also you learn how dumb it is to spend. I've heard you talk about this in other podcasts. The cars. Like it's clear you learned how dumb that was. So now that you know you can make it back and you're not going to spend it like that, you know you can take the risks and you know how to manage it when you get it. It's super valuable.
So look at this. So you look at it like money, you're like, okay, I got it. Having some fame and then losing it makes it so much easier to handle fame. So earlier in my career, I'm not talking this like fame. I don't even like using the word, but like some people knew who I was because I was on some MTV shows. The MTV show stopped and then way less people knew who I was. And I got to reflect on what that was like. I got to reflect on my behavior. You know, at this time I was trying to like live up to an expectation of myself. That went away and I was like, oh, I was worried about letting these people down. Is that important to me? Does it matter if I let them down? Was I representing myself in the right way? Like I got to reflect on this time. So when it came back up again, I was way more ready and comfortable for it. I actually didn't mind it when it went away. So I wasn't afraid of it going away. I was creating things that I was really proud of and represented exactly who I was. So if you hated me for my content, I was okay with that because I was being me. And I wonder if you haven't noticed it go away. You've only gotten more and more and more and more famous. I wonder if there's like a pressure where you go, could it go away, and what would you do?
You know, I'm fearless in that regard. I literally don't want to be famous, don't care about fame in any way, shape, or form. Like, all right, it's cool when people come saying like they like stuff or whatever, but if anything, I actively try not to be. Like, I'm quite like a head down, don't really try and make a big scene of myself when I'm out, but because I'm a big guy, everyone's like, fuck it all. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think that's why you could do what you did when you were like, nah, I'm just going to release it on my own website and all that. Like that lack of fear, it's the best feeling in the world, I think, when you're a content creator, because otherwise you're letting other people dictate the art. You're letting other people sort of shape you, and you can't do that. You have to follow. I never ask people what I think of what they like. I don't want your opinion. Do you know, like in that regard, like unless I respect someone or they're in my league or whatever, I'm not asking like the audience what should I do next. You can't. And Ricky Gervais said that to me, good name dropper. He's like, you've got to turn your back on the audience to conduct the orchestra, sort of thing. And like that that is the fucking truth.
Because ultimately, if they want the authentic version of yourself, if that's what they're gravitating towards, you can't be authentically you by asking them what they want to hear.
And I think that's where my strength comes from in my content, is like, I am not scared to cry, like anything. I would tell people my darkest secrets. I'm not frightened of letting that all go because I don't care what people really think.
Bro, in that regard. The way you handled the DMs, bro.
Oh, yeah.
That was, and who is that guy who did the roast? That was funny.
My boy Stephen tries, mate. You're going to love him. He's a stand-up comedian, but like he's young, so like he's still.
I mean, he had some good jokes.
Oh man, this is
like really funny.
But Stephen's funnier off camera when he can say the wild shit, you know. But you guys have to meet Stephen.
I got
absolutely.
Meet him. But okay, so these DMs come out where you're saying crazy shit.
Oh yeah,
like this is
the worst DMs ever, right,
bro? It sounded like you were like someone stole your phone.
Well, do you know what it was? Right?
You could have said my boy stole my phone.
No, but I didn't want to, because that would.
But
give,
it was so wild, we would have believed it.
That would give power though to other people, and I was like, you know what? Do I really want to let someone else have this over me? Because, like, I was drunk as fuck at the time, and naturally, you know, when like I was lit. So then. But also, everything I'm saying, it doesn't necessarily mean I want to do it. But in the moment, I was like, yeah, let's see how wild I could take this with this girl. Yeah, I don't know if anyone else has been there when you're like, you're playing this game with a girl where you're like, she says something wild, and then before you know it, you're like, fuck me, she's wild. Let me see if I can say something even crazier. Yeah, and. It went. You won. I won. Although she erased what she was saying, so maybe I didn't.
So what did she say?
Oh,
like how did it happen? Can you? You don't have to protect her.
It's a long story, but I barely even knew what this person had. Right. So like, you know, when I was like, yeah, I don't really want to carry on talking to you. That was when it was like, oh, I'm gonna fucking ruin your life now. You know.
So that is revenge porn.
Yeah, but men don't get sympathy like that. We don't get sympathy. Do you know why? When you're 6'4", you're 300-pound guy, people just think you're bulletproof and that you can take any old shit. And I realized, I was like, oh, there's a double standard here. There's a double standard though, because like if I'd been a woman and a guy did that to me, the violins would have come out. Yeah,
they would literally in America. There's a revenge porn. No one gave a
fuck because I'm a man, and I had to sort of rationalize that and go, okay, this is how the world works.
So the DMs get leaked, and the first episode back, you have your buddy on to do a roast about everything they saw.
Yeah, because I was just like, brilliant. I'm going to get this out in the open because I'm not scared of like laughing about it. I was like, I mean, okay. Let's go there. And then afterwards, I was like, right, next show after that was like, it never fucking happened. And then the funniest bit was like, so I got all my guys to roast me. When Logan lost his fight against JJ, he did the same thing. And I was like, I'm the influencer, the influencers.
Because if you say the worst shit about yourself, what the fuck they gonna say?
It's 8 Mile. 8 Mile. That was what I thought. I was just like, I'm going to do it first. Yeah. Get it out in the open. But also, like, messages. It's not like there was anything real, but like, you know what, like dirty messages sound funny regardless if it's someone you know and you're like, fucking hell.
But that cost you like millions. People don't know this because you didn't talk about it publicly. He had a deal on the table. Millions.
No, so that wasn't what cost me the money, but so basically it was I'd lost a deal that week that was worth millions. Yeah. In the long term, not necessarily making me millions, but the company and the boys, and we would have been looked after. Yeah, and then that happened afterwards. So in 1 week, I lost a multi-million-pound deal, and then everyone was talking shit about me, and I was like, "Fuck, this is like the worst feeling in the world right now." Like, because I come from nothing, so like, to have that ripped away from you and then have everyone laughing at you at the same time. But I think that's a testament to how strong I am. Where I'm like, I'm just going to take it on the chin and laugh about it and then move on. Okay. Now, the next girl you're trying to hook up with. Bro, real talk. Does she come through with the dilly? Or what? Real talk. Real talk. You would not believe how many girls are like, man, I like those DMs. No! I don't give a fuck. I was like, all these boys taking the piss out of me. I'm like, dude, you can't even get your girl to suck your dick. I've got girls willing to fucking do backflips onto mine, you cunt. Shut the fuck up. No, honestly. You're laughing at me? Yeah. Laugh at what I'm dealing with in my life. Okay, so like, you know how it's like anything that should be bad for you ends up becoming gold? Have you noticed that? But that's because I don't let it destroy me. Whatever it is that you're doing with it, it's working out. But the fact that you know what it is, people love someone who's just willing to be laughed at and go, yeah, fuck it, that's me. You have to have a sense of humor about yourself. And it takes the power away from people because the fear as creators, look, let's take someone who did something like actually fucking a bit dodgy, which was that Krista Leah situation, right? This guy evaporated, right? He's now just like Brendan Schaub's right-hand man or whatever the fuck's going on over here. Like, he hid away. When you show weakness like that, that's when the rest of the world are like, oh, you're guilty. He did something. Did it. And I'm like, and in my head, I'm like, wait there. I'm talking to a grown woman about some dirty shit. Yeah, it's funny, but I ain't done anything wrong. That's the important part here. Yeah, grown woman, that's the important part. Hey, well grown. Big ass titties. well grown. No, I think it was a brilliant way. And I think if you look at other people who have addressed situations
like straight on. Like you look at like Portnoy, the way he handled, Dave Portnoy from Barstool.
He took that shit on like I would have took it on.
And here's the thing. The beautiful thing is that you let people know, yo, there's a cost to talking shit about me.
Oh, yeah.
Are you like, and I even, we talk about this with Jake a lot with his fights. It's like fighting Jake Paul isn't just in the ring. It's the lead up where everything that you've ever done in your life is going to be fucking brought up. It's going to be horrible. He's going to put you through
this should just happen right now, by the way. So KSI's, the guy who KSI's fighting, people have been through his likes on Twitter, full of fucking like wild porno shit and all that. I'm like, mate, you should have fucking cleaned everything before this was announced.
Delete the history.
You can't address it head on if you actually did some shit that's immoral.
Exactly.
Which is actually wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that is the fucking thing. We just had Louis on the pod like last week, right? Louis C.K., right? And that was the thing that we didn't talk about, but I did want to talk about it, which was like, I just wish you said what absolute bullshit this was immediately. Because when you publicly apologize, even if you're apologizing for what you did, the people don't know. All they know is the accusation. So if you just go out like, I say, I'm sorry, they go, oh, he's sorry for what I think that he did.
Yeah.
And that is the worst fucking thing that you can do. You either spell out exactly what happened and then see how you feel about it, or you say, fuck everybody.
I think that we all have to look at what the fuck Pirates of the Caribbean fucker did.
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp fucking showed the way, mate.
Oh, yeah.
If you've got receipts, you
Take
come
that
back.
bitch to court, bro.
Come back
Yeah,
stronger than ever.
Yeah.
And
his new movie, whatever it is gonna fucking...
Mate, I love that guy.
I'll buy 2 tickets. I won't even go.
I'll
buy 2 tickets. I won't even go. 100%. No, I just want to support.
Yeah, I agree. Because too many men feel scared that the second you get accused of anything or someone comes for you in that way, that, oh shit, maybe I did do it. You know what I mean? Like men just panic straight away, and it's like,
they're worried about losing all the thing. They're worried about losing sponsors, losing whatever. You face that shit head on. If you can, be funny as hell about it, and the people will see it.
That's how I saved the sponsors, mate. All of my sponsors were like, fuck, okay, he's bigger than ever. Why the fuck would we leave him now? This is mental.
Yeah.
I got 2 million views on that one video just laughing about it. Well, more than that probably, yeah.
And why would they leave you for something that happened to you?
Yeah, but this is the thing is like, men, and this is perception, it's very hard to look at a guy like me as a victim. But I was, in a way. I was. They've just done a documentary called The Most Hated Man on the Internet because he was leaking all of the girlfriend revenge porn shit on there. And I'm like, that isn't a million miles off of what happened to me.
Yeah.
But I would have came off better if it was that.
Yeah, if you had the dick out. Yeah.